This is my review of day trading for Thursday, 31st of August 2017. This was my trading plan for the day. It was a very busy day. I had 8 currency pairs in total to watch out for. And these are the individual trading plans for each of the pairs. In this trading session, I discovered that monitoring 8 currency pairs for day trading is beyond my capacity as a trader, at least for the moment. So I've made a note of that, and in the future I would try to keep it down to a maximum of 6 currency pairs. If there are more than that, then I need to make a decision as to which pairs to eliminate in order to keep it down to a manageable level. I started recording 1 hour early because at the time it looks like some of the moves that I have anticipated is about to happen. So we've got a potential breakout to the upside on Euro New Zealand, on the Pound New Zealand. The Pound CAD has already moved, the breakout has happened, and I'm watching for a possible retracement back down to the breakout level. That's where I would most likely be looking for an opportunity to go long. The Aussie New Zealand is of particular interest for this session, and I'm going to focus a lot more onto it because this is the first time that I have seen and actually have the chance to act on this kind of intraday patterns. I've been day trading now actively for 8 months, and recently I have begun to notice that some of these patterns are happening a lot more frequently and that I'm able to identify them earlier. So this is my first attempt at trading one of these what I call other ideas, because it's not the typical breakout that I trade. So right now I am planning my trade for Euro New Zealand and also the Pound New Zealand. I'm still waiting for the current candle to close in order to confirm that it is a valid long setup. However, at the moment the move looks very strong, and if it finishes looking like this or similar, then it's going to be a valid trade. If that's the case, there's no way that I could put in 2 orders at exactly the same time and still get my stops and target correct. So I have to do a little bit of planning in advance. At the beginning of the year I didn't do this, and it turned out that I was too slow for some of these breakout moves. So lesson learned from those early months, and right now my process for day trading is to look at a possible valid trade 5 or 6 minutes before the candle closed and try to get my numbers in ready, have my orders. Once the setup is confirmed, then all I have to do is just move my order up into the correct numbers and off I go. After that, I took a closer look at the Pound New Zealand, and I decided to actually close out my order to cancel them out, because in my trading plan I didn't really have a specific plan for this type of move. I did say in the pip report that I am going to watch this trade. Right now it's giving me what could be a very strong breakout to the upside signal, so the temptation is there to enter the trade. But now, having to rethink about it, I'm not going to do that, because even though it looks like a move that I could trade, it's actually unfolding rather differently to the normal setup that I trade, so I'm not going to do that. The Aussie New Zealand is having a breakout to the upside. Funny enough, it actually went lower. It tested the support zone that I drew in for the plan, but now the breakout is actually to the upside. 3.5 more minutes until the close of the candle. So I am at this stage planning for this trade. This is the first time, like I said, I'm trading this kind of setup, so I'm gonna be going in with a half size instead. The other reason for using a half size is that this pair is actually now trading into daily resistance level. You can see on my screen I have it marked down as 110.20. There is always extra risk when you are taking intraday moves going into a daily resistance level. It may or may not hold, but for my analysis I have to assume that this level will give up some sort of resistance, some fight, and trading into it on an intraday move is extremely risky. That's another reason for me to use half size on this one. breakout candle on Euro New Zealand had just closed, and the problem now is that it's actually moved so far out. It's gone halfway up from my planned entry to my target, which breaks one of my trading rules. So I had no choice but to actually close out this buy limit order. If it comes back down again and retests the breakout level, then I will reconsider entering depending on how price turns out. But as it stands, the move is way too strong. And if you saw what happened last week, I avoided a fake out move that looks similar to how this is unfolding at the moment. The long setup on USD CAD has now been confirmed by that breakout candle, and here are my orders for the long trade. So let's see how this one turns out. So I decided to close out 2 of the charts because having 8 different charts on the screen were too much for me to handle. Now we're down to 6 and it is a lot more manageable. My buy limit order on USD CAD has been filled recently, and with just under 2 minutes to go, there could be a problem because it looks like at the moment the breakout level is not able to act as support. If there is a close below this level, then that would be the early exit signal that I need to take. My buy limit order on Aussie New Zealand has also been filled, and right now price is just stalling. The candle on USD CAD has just closed, and as it stands right now, this is a valid exit signal for me to take. However, looking at the long lower wick of the candle suggested to me at the time that there could still be a lot of buying pressure below this. So I made a discretionary decision to wait for one more candle to see how it goes. If the next candle is a bullish candle and buyers are able to push back up above the breakout level, then I will stay in the trade. But if they cannot do that, then I would close out the trade on the open of the next candle. Well, with just under 10 seconds to go, it looks like I will have to exit USD CAD long. I gave it one extra candle to see if there would be any intentions left on buyers to push up. However, it's clear that sellers have been in control since the breakout, so there is no reason for me to be in the trade whatsoever. Just checking my numbers for the trade. I always like to record my numbers immediately after the trade has finished. It's a habit that I do, and it helps me keep my record keepings up to date. The trade on the Aussie New Zealand has been mostly ranging since the breakout. It hasn't done much at all, and at that time I wasn't sure how long I needed to give this trade in order to see a result or in order to apply the correct exit signal. With my breakout, the exit signal can be taken immediately, but for this new idea, I have no idea. This is the first time I'm trading this, so I'm gonna give it a little bit more than that, maybe let's say 7 or 8 candles, and if price is still not moving in the direction that I want to, then I will look to close out the trade then. Right, it's been 2 hours since I've entered the trade on Aussie New Zealand long, and price really hasn't done much at all. It's just been ranging ever since that breakout candle. So I've made a decision at the time to exit the trade. Gonna do that as soon as the candle finishes. And the reason for that is because if buyers are continuing to push up, they're not really doing it in the time frame that I'm comfortable trading. I mean, 2 hours is a long time when you're trading on 15 minutes chart. And the moves that have been most profitable for me for day trading usually occurs very fast. So this is something that's beyond my capacity and my understanding at the moment. So I've decided to get out of it then. Well, let me show you what happened to the Aussie New Zealand after the trading session. In fact, this screenshot is for the following day. Here was the setup that I was looking to trade on Thursday. And this is what price has done since. So you can see that buyers eventually had pushed up, but the move took a long time. And my target at 110.83 was hit, but on Friday and not Thursday. So if I was still in the trade and I decided to hold out up until Friday, then I would have had my target. But I didn't do that because I didn't anticipate that it would take that long. I like doing the video reviews because it gives me a chance to look back at my trading retrospectively and to see if there is anything that I've missed and what other improvements that I can do in order to perform better. This is the first recorded example of this type of setup, and I will keep a close eye from now on my other ideas, because by the end of this year I want to be able to build up a series of setups other than the breakouts that I currently trade at the moment. That's it for me for today. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.